Hi guys, we're going to look at the integral of e to the power of 3x sine 4x dx. So that's example 10. So this one is quite difficult compared to the last one that we did, which was e to the x cos x dx. But still we are going to choose our u to be e to the 3x. So we choose our u to be the exponential. So that's going to give us du dx equals, if we derive that, remember we derive the inside function, right? So it's the chain rule in disguise. We derive the inside function, you get 3, multiply it with the derivative of the outside. The outside function is just e to the bracket. If you derive e, you get e. So that's going to be e bracket whatever was inside, which is just 3x. So you get 3e to the power of 3x. So now we're going to say whatever is remaining after choosing u is our dv dx. So dv dx is going to be the sine 4x. So we're going to have dv dx equals sine of 4x. Now our v is the integral of sine 4x. With integration, if we want to integrate sine 4x with respect to x, so we're saying this is the integral of sine 4x with respect to x. If you want to integrate sine 4x with respect to x, you are going to derive the inside function. You get 4. But instead of multiplying that 4, which is what we did in differentiation, you will divide with it. So you divide with the 4, then you integrate. So I said you derive the inside function, divide by the derivative, integrate the outside function, you get minus cos of what? Bracket, put back whatever was inside, you get that. So you get minus cos 4x over the derivative of the inside, which is 4. So you get minus 4, cos 4x over 4. So that's going to give you what? You're going to say, let's write the formula for integration by parts. It's the integral of u dv over dx. dx equals uv. So that's uv minus the integral of v du over dx. So now we're going to plug in what we have here into our formula. So that's going to be the integral of u dv dx. That's just the question, because u is that which is e to the 3x. dv dx is sine 4x. So we get e to the 3x sine 4x dx, which is just our question. So we're going to have uv that day, which is u and v, which is that one. So we get e. Let's start with that negative. So we get minus e to the 3x cos 4x over 4, which is that 4v. Then we say minus the integral of v. Where is v? V is this one, which has a negative, right? So v is negative, but we can put that negative here, so that becomes a plus if we factor that negative out. We can also factor out this this 4 here, and du dx, remember we're saying v du dx. So if we multiply 3 and this 1 over 4, we get 3 over 4, right? So 3 over 4, we can factor it out of the integral. So we get 3 over 4 integral of, we now just write e to the 3x cos 4x dx. So we get something like this. But since we have an integral in our solution, we still have to solve that integral again. So we have to apply integration by parts for the second time. So we are now applying it on this part. So we can put a bracket there to show that we have an integral, we want its result, because we want to put its result there so that we give a full solution for our question. So that's going to be, we're going to say let u equals e to the 3x du over dx is going to be equal to 3e to the 3x dv over dx is going to be equal to cos 4x, because that's what's remaining after choosing u. V is going to be equal to, the derivative of the inside is 4. We divide by that derivative. The integral of the outside is sine of whatever is inside, which is our 4x. So we get sine 4x over 4. Now we apply integrating by parts. We're going to say, so let me just write everything else. Then when we get here, that's when we apply integration by parts for this one, using what we got here. So that's going to give us e to the 3x sine 4x dx equals, we're going to have this here, nothing changed there. It's going to be e to the 3x cos 4x over 4 minus, that's a plus 3 over 4 bracket. This is where we need to now remove that integral, put its solution. What is its solution? It's uv, so it's uv, which is e to the 3x sine 4x over 4 minus, let's just zoom this out. Okay, so let me also put this bracket somewhere there. So that's going to be minus the integral of v and du dx. So that's going to be the 3 and the 1 over 4 there, they're going to give us 3 over 4. We can put it outside. Then we also have e to the 3x and sine 4x. We're going to put them inside. E to the 3x sine 4x dx. So we're going to have something like this. This here is a curve, just like from the last example. This one here and this one here. So they are the same, right? So we're going to add them. So you have 3 over 4 cows and 1 cow, right? So if you do that, this one is actually, because if you remember, 1 is just 4 over 4. So this is 4 over 4, that's 3 over 4, that's, so basically here you have a negative. So I think let's first expand that bracket, since we have this 3 over 4 outside here, right? So we're going to first expand that bracket. If we expand that bracket, it's going to give us what? Let's just rewrite it here. We have 4 over 4 integral of e to the 3x sine 4x dx equals minus e to the 3x cos 4x over 4 plus, here if we multiply with the 3 over 4 inside, we're going to have 3e to the x sine 4x over this 4 times this 4 is 16. So you have 3 over 16 e to the x sine 4x. Then this 3 over 4 times this 3 over 4, you get 9 over 16, right? So it's going to be 9 over 16. You have, and you have a negative here, right? So it's going to be minus 9 over 16 integral of e to the 3x sine 4x dx. Now, we can say we have 4 over 4 cows, which is just 1 cow, and we have 9 over 16 cows. So we can take them this side. So we now have this one here, let's change it to 16 over 16, right? Because we want the denominators to be the same. So let's put instead 16 over 16. So you have 16 over 16 cows and 9 over 16 cows. You are going to have 25 over 16 cows, which are the integrals. So it's 25 over 16 integrals, which is e to the 3x sine 4x dx. And then we're going to write minus e to the 3x. So this we took to that side and it became a positive. We now write this part here. So we're going to write e to the 3x cos 4x over 4 plus 3e to the x sine 4x over 16. So we now have something like this, but we were asked for one integral, not 25 over 16 integrals. So that means we have to multiply both sides by 16 over 25. We multiply this side as well by 16 over 25. So that's going to give us, that's going to cancel that, that's going to cancel that. And then we're going to get the integral of e to the 3x sine 4x dx equals 16 over 25 bracket minus e. We can choose to start with the one that's positive. So we can say 3 over 16 e to the 3x, right? This is 3x here. There's a mistake there. This is also 3x here. That's 3x. Yeah, so that's going to give us e to the 3x sine 4x minus e to the 3x sine minus 3, e to the 3x cos, right? So that's cos 4x over what? Over 4. And then here we also have the 3x like this. And then what else? What else? Let's just check for any mistakes. There are no mistakes there, so that's going to be that. And then we have plus c, which is the constant of integration. So that's our integral for e to the 3x sine 4x.